Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 14, Week 5. Last game, the Thugwood lineup ran Wraith King. And that's really all you need to know. See what happens this time. Well, what happens this time is the immediate Pudge ban.
Just so you know, Anoni, I'm not able to see the screen.
Oh,
the
that's
game,
fun.
rather.
How about now?
Radiant team ban.
Okay, now I'm able to see it.
Dire team
Hooray! Technical difficulty averted.
Right, so they banned the Pudge, the Oracle, so they feel those were the issues.
Those were the issues that they don't want to face again. Which I think, at the very least, that should be your standard for a comfort
10
ban.
seconds remaining.
You know, and it's something like I feel like I think I yelled at the co-op circles a lot for doing this last season. Is sometimes they would just ban out some things that the guys picked in the former game, and then just pick a bunch of crap that counters it anyway. Running back the Undying first pick here.
I think the Undying was a very good pick, and Roxy played it really well. Might want to switch from the Wraith King carry though.
Yeah, maybe. Might also want to switch from picking Void in this round. They do get the one of the golden picks here. I guess this is not a bad pick for Void. I wouldn't actually be surprised if maybe Thugwood starts to like prefer first pick perhaps. Feel like maybe that's a decent spot for them. They can pick something for Void, ban out the counters that you know first pick phase.
Dire team pick.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Bush is going to be usually that afraid of most people. Got the Winter Wyvern coming out.
Right. The thing with like having a slightly lower MMR carry with like a slightly lower pool is that you don't really need to pick his hero in the second phase or the last phase, because he's just gonna get banned, you know, if you leave it at that time. So
Got the
ideally, now that they've shown their carry and that they've shown the boss 5 plus the carry, it's like they've shown the entire carry lane here. So you can just pick your carry as well, or the off lane, regarding, you know, as to how you can play, how you want to play rather.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I don't know if Void's problem is necessarily pool. Void has a lot, and I mean a lot of pause 1 heroes that he has a very similar amount of matches on to his most played hero. You know, that's really more the issue at hand, I think.
Right.
You know, sometimes you can go so far in the other direction that you have no pool at all, almost, it feels like. Primal Beast coming out here. You want the Beast for the Juggernaut.
Dire team ban.
I think Jug lanes pretty well into Primal Beast, because you just spin the trample damage, and
Yeah,
you have like a healing ward to reset the damage that you take.
You can spin the trample damage, and I tell you something that's going to be very awkward for Primal Beast later in the game. You ready?
10 seconds.
Winter's Curse comes out as Primal Beast is revved up, ready to charge in. Primal Beast charges into the Winter's Curse and starts beating up somebody else. I do not like the Primal Beast against people with good like area denial skills like this as a result.
Dire team ban.
Primal Beast also is good into Wyvern, because if Wyvern's like healing somebody, you can just walk over and then deal a bunch of damage. So you can get the target to be stationary from the enemy side itself. That's also a good way to think about it.
It's true. It's two different situations there.
10
I feel like
seconds
the big issue that I have is like
seconds remaining.
it's all about sort of the importance of and like the potential possibility of those two scenarios, right? In a fight, Primal Beast being able to freely walk up to whoever is on the popsicle and just start trampling them without some sort of reprise, it's a little tough. In a fight, Primal Beast having to steer around the Winter's Curse, that's not tough. That's going to be happening like every fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lots of US Danny bans going out. They banned the Templar Assassin. Do not want to see that again. They banned out the Leshrek. They banned out the
10
Bat
seconds
Rider.
remaining.
Bean 10, pretty much the same exact ban roster as last time.
5 seconds remaining.
Started out with Hollywood, banning out Windrunner, banning out the Phoenix here. Again, kind of interesting in that they're, again, assuming that there's a possibility Hollywood's going to pick up the Undying. I don't know if that's like, again, you know, I know a lot of people in LD2L aren't huge on pause for Undying, but I do think that is a possibility here. You can't discount.
I think the way
Still.
I also feel that the way Hollywood is like facing the whole drafting against Bean team is wrong, because they're just banning a bunch of Danny heroes, right? But in like every single game, Danny's hero has been faced the last. Like the last pick is mostly always Danny's pick.
Yeah.
So instead of banning all these heroes, they could probably like target a bunch of other players and then just target ban 2 heroes at the last phase, just before the last phase, and then have a better result.
I do think that does bring the issue of like, I think Godlike Matt's kind of hard to ban. I think Godlike Matt's pool is bigger than he himself thinks it is. I think the biggest issue Godlike
you don't
Matt
really
has
need
seen
to.
is himself.
Sorry to cut you off, but you don't need to like ban out every single hero. You just need to ban out stuff that counters what you want to play, because that's generally the idea to lane against, like face it. Because if you ban like a TA here and a bat here, it's not really I don't know what the word is, inductive of
Indicative, I think is what you're
indicative, indicative of what you want to play. So yeah, I'm not really sure as to, they're just banning out stuff that they played in the previous game and they just felt bad about. Like you can see like Pudge is banned, Oracle is banned, TA is banned. They can't ban the Jug because Jug is already picked. If they got a chance, they would probably ban the Doom as well.
5 seconds.
Like here's the problem with trying to go for map bans this season. Here's a throwback for you. Lone Sniper Theory versus MK Ulti on the bracket game 2. What did I say in the draft phase?
I'm not sure. I don't really
That was
remember.
like your highlight as an LD2L player so far. Alright, here's how it went, right? It's MK Ulti, Matt's team actually. Their ban list looks like this. Kai Hero, 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 right? And then in last round, Kai gets Razor anyway and just runs all over the game. And the thing I said was they put so many, I mean they flung so many bans at Kai, and he still comes out with a hero that he wants to play anyway. And I do feel like sometimes teams this season in particular have kind of fallen into that exact trap with Matt. So
they also did something wrong.
prospect.
They also did something mistake in that. I don't really want to harp on that game much, but they also did not really answer the picks, the very early picks that we did. But yeah, that's a different game. This is like one of the worst heroes in the patch. They just straight up picked it. So I'm already not really a fan of the draft.
On one hand, PA against Jug is usually really good. On the other hand, PA is not good.
10 seconds.
And also, PA against Jug with the Winter Wyvern. I think PA is like one of the worst heroes in the game against Winter Wyvern, whether she's good or not, because it's like she's an appealing target both ways for the Winter's Curse. She's squishy enough that it's pretty feasible that Winter's Curse is just going to kill her, and she's also does enough damage that if you make her the damage in the Winter's Curse rather than the target, she's just going to kill whatever you hit.
Yeah, I agree. Also, there's like this timing that PA is going for. Like PA goes for a BKB, and it's completely countered by 2 of these picks, right? They have Axe Call and they have the Y1 ulti as well. So the whole BKB timing is just ruined already.
And PA is just completely horrible into Axe. Just another one of these matchups where it's like, there's never going to be a point in this game, I think, where it's going to be that likely that Axe is just going to get completely blown up like a tomato by PA unless this game goes really long and he does really bad. Here's what happens this game. If PA does well, Axe hits Call and hits Blade Mail and she crits him once and then dies instantly. And he lives to see another day. If she does bad, he hits Call and then just spins and Marcy helps beat PA up and they just kill her. That's the lose-lose of the Axe in this situation.
Yeah, I think it's like a huge mistake and kind of disrespect coming out from Hollywood's team, not banning like one hero from Matt. That's all they've banned. So they consider US Danny to be a bigger threat than Matt.
I know
it's
he's
just
happy.
wrong.
I know Matt is grinning ear to ear at that. prospect.
I mean, it's clearly evident from the ban phase. They just banned like one pudge and they're like, yeah, that's it. We don't really need to worry about Matt much. And they straight up pick a PA while Axe is in the pool. And Axe is like one of the best heroes of Matt anyways. And he's played just the previous series as well. So I'm not really sure a lot of the scouting was done. And yeah, not really happy with the Radiant draft right now.
I can tell you from a fact as an insider that a pretty good amount of scouting was done against Thugwood and the Thug Chans. I actually personally know the guy who did it too. Very
Right.
personally.
Radiant team pick.
There goes an echo. And by the way, I'm sorry in advance for the fact that Coddle's going to get first phased against your team every game for the rest of this season.
No, that's fine. Duel's playing a bunch of other heroes as well. He actually opened up and he was like talking about like other heroes he want to learn. So we probably would be picking a bunch of other heroes for him.
Good to see.
Sunday we'd be playing something new for him, most likely.
So look forward to that,
Yeah.
sports fans. By the
It's a
way,
weird-
I think probably most of you in LD2L know who this guy is, and it hits me that we're in Game 2. Some of you are only going to watch Game 2, so I should reiterate, this is Iceman. Iceman minus, to be specific.
Yeah, I guess. Iceman minus, yeah, the hyphen, yes.
Yeah.
It's an old throwback to the time when I was like a huge fan of Miracle. Like Miracle had the same thing, so I just copied it from him.
Yeah, did you see I squashed Miracle the other day?
Oh, you
I'm
did?
so good now, yeah.
Dire
Interesting.
team pick.
Yeah, some guy
you beat him in
named
Dota 1?
Miracle. No, unfortunately I couldn't beat Merkle in Dota 1. But see, that's not Miracle, that's Merkle, M-I-R-C-L-E, so it's okay. It's okay.
That indeed, that's a different player. This is one of the worst drafts I've seen in some time. Why do they have an Arc Warden now?
Because they've given up on PA, is the answer. That's always
They
sad
have,
to
like-
see in a draft, but I'm just gonna say it straight up. This Arc Warden is picked because they're just totally giving up on PA and are just making Arc Warden the new Puzzlin.
Right. So they do have they pick up an Arc Warden, right? So they do have a Marcy to jump on him. They do have like an expectantly this Axe is gonna get a blink as well. Not really the greatest Arc Warden game, and they do have spin on Juggernaut to spin away.
And notably, this is not like you can assume. I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't think Jackie Chan is very famous for his Arc Warden gameplay. So you can assume
Jackie
this
Chan is not, but
Yeah.
I think this is like it's like a Dabush Arc Warden, isn't it?
Yep. This is Debush running back into the mid lane. It's very interesting
Yeah,
that
and
they've decided
this-
to
this is
try.
like- This is so bad. USDN plays a lot of Storm Spirit, and there's like a free Storm Spirit game for him. They have like no stuns.
The bush, right? They run
Yeah.
him back here in the mid lane. You know, with the rest of this lineup, they've got to goddamn win this mid lane, and they decide to try and cement that with a hero that doesn't win mid lane and just tries to basically be a bootleg pause one, right? Do the auto von Bismarck strat, run pause one from mid.
I can agree to a part of that because I think Arc Warden as a hero does win certain lanes because he does outrange a bunch of heroes and he has a way to secure range creeps all the time. And it's very tough to gank him when he gets 6. But when you're a Storm Spirit, it just makes life easier. So with that in the pool, they picked up an Arc Warden. So that's just.
And I mean, they also have some really good rotations here as well. I mean, if Marcia makes an unexpected cameo at the mid lane, then you know things are not about to go well for the Bush.
Yeah, I think Matt is gonna have a very free game here because I don't
They
think
got nothing
VA
for
can.
him.
Yeah,
The
there's no way they
closest,
can.
the closest thing that they've got to something that can even modestly deal with Matt is the Primal Beast. Primal Beast is okay into Axe. Not an exceptional matchup, but it's okay. It's alright. And that's the closest they have, and he is so good against the PA, and he's pretty damn good against Dark Warden too.
I'd say the Robic is also a pretty good answer for Axe because when you like blink calls, you can just lift him, which is like a good interrupt for the whole thing. But yeah, other than that, they have like no instant stuns for the Storm Spirit, which is a very scary situation to be in.
Well, this is interesting.
A black screen.
Yes. It's okay. It should resolve itself. When I hit this button. There we go. Oh, we've went back to pick phase, I think. So just like, I guess he's just like broken, Okay, there we go. It appears that there was some sort of immediate disconnect, caused an immediate pause, which caused this replay to get immediately broken. But it's okay, I fixed it with the duct tape and the chewing gum.
All good now.
Very concerning, though. I didn't know that I didn't know that happened on a replay when it starts pause like that.
You blew it! Looking good.
30 seconds to battle. Wonderful.
I think there's something that some of these teams are not really understanding about Bean 10 this season. This is going to be a very weird thing to say, but it's something that I've actually heard talked about before. I just want to give this warning in advance. Okay, and you're not going to believe me, I guess, some of you, so I don't know how much is going to be in advance, but if you're going to listen to me being a neutral, unbiased commentator rather than the manager of Bean 10, here's something for you. Matt tilted a lot last season because he was on a team with Lambert. He likes these guys. It's going to be different. You can't just tip him and expect to win that way.
Yeah, I think tipping is like part of the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't think it's like personal. Is it personal? Maybe some of them are.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely been, like, I've heard discussion. It's like, oh, how do you beat Bean 10? You just tip Matt 2 times and he'll tilt and lose. No, I can assure you that ain't gonna be how it happens this season. You're more than welcome to try. I do welcome you to try it. That's a lot of money in his pocket. But I promise you, he's probably busier telling Meph to get his head out of his rear end. He's too busy doing that to talk to you. And he likes Meph, too. That's the crazy thing. I think maybe it would be hard-pressed for him to admit it sometimes. But, you know, they just sit in that goddamn VC for like 5 hours after the games and all that, so, you know. Anyway.
There's like a double wave going on top. This could be a good time to kind of dive the Wyvern. They play it right. They don't do it. Unlucky.
Oh. Well,
Yeah,
no, they're going to do it after
good.
all. They're just going to kind of just spin, chase it, and Prime will have to walk away. I think this is a really good lane comp, especially considering the strengths of these two players. It's just like, Winter Wyvern makes it really tough to kill the Jug. Jug actually makes it quite a challenge to kill the Wyvern as well in a lot of ways. Sort of mutually supporting each other in this lane. Which is usually something that you see more often in like an off lane.
Like right now they could just go on. They could just go on the Wyvern top once they get level 3 on Primal Beast. It's the Jug cannot really help. So they should just probably play around that timing.
So far, just an uninterrupted farm fiesta here at mid. The bush has been taking the worst of it as far as trades go, but as far as actually hitting creeps go, there's just straight up even. And using his Q to take out that range creep and get himself some hits in here.
There's a very greedy build coming out from Bush. He has like no sticks, no wand, no stat items. Storm does have like a pretty good attack animation and pretty good base damage as well. And ways to secure range creeps. Yeah, so.
Okay, well, while we were looking at that, Meth suddenly died somewhere. What exactly happens here? Oh, he just has no strength.
It was always going to be me.
Very sad. Then he gets tipped.
That's okay.
Big magic wand comes out from Matt there. Totally stops anything from happening.
USN just solo kills Bush mid.
Yep, let's take a look at that happening as well. Action happening in all lanes here. Well, unfortunately, he walks into a Spark Wraith and dies.
This is completely fine. This is completely fine with Danny because he gets to reset his HP mana and come back to the lane. And he also got solo experience from the kill.
He actually got the kill, yeah.
So I don't see why the Bush is tipping him. It's just a poor play coming out from him. So sure, whatever.
Because US Danny is thought to be a child of bad behavior, so gotta tip him. The safe lane tries to run over the off lane for Bean 10 while Rubik's out. Manages to get it done successfully. Okay, this could be kind of bad for the Bush.
This is taking a lot of damage.
Yep.
That
Cryptic
is pretty
tries
bad
to
for Danny because
TP
he does
in,
not. Danny doesn't have a TP mid now, so he needs to walk mid.
Cryptic tries to TP mid, but it takes him an hour and a half to get here. Both supports now in this lane, going to get the revenge kill onto Bush. So
That's
now the
awesome.
Bush doesn't have his TP either. Both mids are now going to have to walk.
I think Bush should have. Yeah, Bush doesn't have a TP for 30 seconds. So both of them don't have it.
A wyvern's breath.
I like the exchange in text. I don't know if your fidelity is
I
high
saw
enough
that.
right now. Yeah.
I saw that. I saw that.
You know, I know it's an odd time to be saying this, but did you know that I have a better record than Hollywood in LD2L?
No, you stood in for like 2 games, I think.
I'm undefeated, baby. 100% win rate.
Good to know.
I offered to stand in for them against the exact same team again this week, but didn't work out. Unfortunately.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, you know.
I think the reason
Marcy.
Bush died these 2 times is mostly because of his build. He probably should have a better build.
It's a good call from Axe. Gets both guys here. Roxy's looking very dead. Yep. One more spin. He's going down. Drops the tombstone before he dies. Might actually get the kill on. No, never mind. NVM, bro.
Try to go on the PA bottom. Might get him actually. I think this level 1 Battle Hunger shouldn't die, I suppose.
Yep, he's gonna
Raging
be
kicks in.
A-okay. Both these offlaners are actually now in a very rough spot. Roxy TP'd in the perfect place at the perfect time, it feels like. You know, you might not think it, given the fact that Void is one of the lower-ranking Pause 1 players, but this is probably among the hardest safe lanes that Matt is going to have to look at this season, just on Roxy Roro.
Yeah, I think Roxy's a very good 5. Very good support player in general. He can play both 4 and 5 very well.
Yeah.
Good value.
I think Roxy is one of
This
these
is just-
guys where it's like he's a really good 5, but I think Roxy is so good at playing Pause 4, it's almost a little bit of a shame when he's not doing it. Like
It's just kind of sad that what I'm looking at. I'm sorry, I'm sorry to cut you again, but they're just 2v1ing mid right now, just to secure the Bush's lane, which kind of opens up top lane for free for Bean.
Yep. Vern or not Vern, but rather Marcy moves in, make it a 2v2. And again, the Bush can't even get a whiff of this lane anymore.
Can we just look at the Bush items? What does he have?
Sure thing. He has nothing.
Yeah, this is ideally not good. Oh,
Wait a
Void
minute.
diced.
No.
Okay, he wanted to die. Not sure why, because he had enough money to buy the Ring of Health. I don't understand why he did that. Sure.
Oh, at the very least, Primal Beast just walked all over the Juggernaut. Let's see that as well. Yep, that's just, Juggernaut just kind of got snapped there. I think that can happen to you sometimes with the Primal Beast. Sometimes, you know, there's a moment where it's almost like a limit break in an RPG sometimes with Primal Beast. Sometimes you can get that tech out and just suddenly do about 30 trillion damage.
Why are they 2v1ing this lane? I don't understand. This makes no sense. They're just leeching so much XP from the Arc Warden.
He has finished his Midas now.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
Even with the Midas, I think US Tiny might have more net worth. The looks of it.
That should help.
I mean, obviously that gap is going to shrink as the game goes on, but yeah, as it stands right now, US Danny is sitting at a higher net worth value. Okay, Hollywood's just going to totally die here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, maybe not actually. Jug is just too slow to actually get here.
Void dies bottom. Axe kills him.
Very sad. And Roxy Roro wants a high five. He won't find it. He'll have to settle for the tower.
Dire's
Both
top
Pause
tower
ones
is under
having kind of a
attack.
rough game. Wump. Though, I gotta say, I feel like this, if I'm Void, I'm a little bit more worried about the fate of the world. Even if I am a couple of 100 gold up from Jug, I think I'm a little bit more worried about how this lane is going, to be honest with you. Primal Beast can be a scary guy, don't get me wrong. He can be a very big, large, threatening, screaming, horrible beast. But, Axe can be just as nasty, and there's a future for Jug, even if the lane doesn't work out well. There is no future for PA. It feels like PA, having lost this lane and existing with this Arc Warden, she's out, she's done. Or he's done, I guess it's that rare male PA set, but... PA is pretty much, I feel like, I know it's very early to say this, but if PA has any significant impact on how this game goes, I would be very surprised. So TP's coming out here top.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Axe gets to call on Rubik, Primal Base gets to walk. Rubik goes for the high five, instead finds Axe cutting him in half. Oh, and by the way, while that happened, Meph came to mid, you know, made that surprise cameo appearance I was talking about, and Arc Warden died again.
Is under attack.
Yeah, this is also already looking pretty bad because the Arc Warden has like no items and a Midas, and the PA is going for a Battle Fury. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time for them to be online, and with like tempo heroes like an Axe, with the Blink, with the Storm Spirit, I don't know. I think this is like a really bad draft coming out from the Radiant to play into this, and the way they itemize themselves, it's also pretty, I don't know, pretty bad.
Call me a cynic, but I'm just gonna go as far as to say this. I think Hollywood realized what the deal was this game. Everything in this game is built around a bush. PA is gone. They really do not care about PA anymore. They're giving no more thoughts to if PA has a game today. Meph getting very adventurous, going into the jungle there, just finding the Arc Warden cleaning right up.
Under attack.
Running over Rubik as well. Undying puts up the tombstone, tries to get everyone to fight. Everyone says, okay, great, but who said anything about fighting into the tombstone? They just bring him out of it and kill him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You deserve nothing.
You deserve nothing. Storm just keeps missing uphill on the tombstone, he's gonna die! They're both gonna
What am
die!
I watching? Why? What is happening?
Bro, just all on top of the cliff? Bro!
Did he have
Just
enough
all on
mana?
top of the cliff!
Did he have enough mana to go top of the
Yes!
cliff?
He
Like,
died with 300.
Dire's bottom
I mean,
is under attack.
hell, I mean, if he he has a bottle charge. Oh my god, that was embarrassing.
Interesting.
That was prime Dota 2.
Yeah, Axe is very close to his Blink, 200 off of it. Once he has that, I think Storm and Axe would be running around looking for kills. It's gonna be very tough to farm.
Let's look at this weird Ekans flag.
There's a fight going on.
Dire's top tower.
Actually, finds a Rubik here, cuts him right in half. Winner's Curse comes out, Arc Warden's beating himself up. Goodbye. That is sad. Primal Beast takes the approach to get the hell out of town. This fight is starting to go downhill pretty fast for a Bean 10. Yeah, Axe. No, never mind. Envy him. That was Marcy's health bar. Axe is gonna be okay. PA walking up to this, but if PA even thinks about doing anything here, PA is super dead.
Yeah, as a 12-minute Vanguard Blink axe, this is really tough to fight into, especially when you have like 2 farming cores. Nobush is TPing in to mid lane. I don't see why.
He decided against it.
Okay.
You want to see 2 Hollywoods? There you go, that's 2 Hollywoods. Guy like Matt, it's 12 minutes, guy like Matt has already lived up to his name, and I've already brushed my mouse, so we looked away from him briefly. So yeah, not only is that 13 minutes Blink Vanguard, it's 13 minutes Blink Vanguard, and he's got the broadsword for his play mail too, which is really gonna put the spurs to PA in this game. I think one thing in particular as well, you know, this is an odd thing to say. It's like a super big Vanguard game as well for Matt. You know, you often get the Vanguard is just kind of like you know, you're just sitting there, just trying to, you know, get the region out of it, or, you know, one day you're going to dismember it for the Lotus and something else, right? But like this game, I mean, Arc Warden just hates to see it, especially considering, I mean, he's got this Javelin, that's good, but that's only a percentage chance. You know, Arc Warden does many little small hits to you over a long series of time. PA does many little hits to you, some of them crit. Vanguard doesn't care about your crits, but he also does not care about any non-crits you do. So it's going to actually put a pretty big dampering in the core's ability to do damage for a very long time.
Right.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not sure how they play this game now, because I think any lane they go, I think they're gonna just get ganked by a storm and an axe with the blink.
Marcy just solo pushes out bot as well. I gotta say, I feel like maybe they finally found the one hero that even Meth can't feed on with this whole Marcy character. Seems like it plays to his strengths quite admirably, actually.
Yeah, but I don't see why Meth is going for a blink on this hero. This hero has like very good mobility already.
For fun! I don't know. Rubik dies so fast, there's not even like the attempt to cleave him here. Axe ignores the PA to just chase down the Undying. It's really where PA stands in this world. Okay, Primal Beast coming in here. Trying to make a bit of an impact, loses off like almost all of his HP. Make that all of his HP. US Danny just perfectly baiting out here. Roxy Roro cut in half. 7 cold armor for Axe here.
Yeah, I think some of these picks that Hollywood has gone for, rather his team has gone for, are pretty experimental. I'm not really sure if Jackie Chan plays a lot of Primal Beast, although he's the only one who's... Oh, that's a pretty good stun.
Yep, Wump.
Yeah, I would call it right now, because they're just killing my heroes in front of T3. Because, and it's just 15 minutes. But I guess they have like they have like 2 Midas, you know, 2 Midases and maybe some Battle Fury coming soon.
If you were getting this stomped and you actually called GG in a game, you would get love letters from me every week for the rest of your life, no matter how many times you changed addresses. I cannot tell you how many totally unwinnable games I've had to sit through like 50 goddamn minutes of this season.
It's not about just being unwinnable. It's about the amount of what do you call the emotional kind of stress that you take, because you're just getting fed on. Like in 60 minutes you're just getting dope, and your heroes have no items. As a captain, when you look at your heroes and your mid as a Midas and your carries, you know, not even halfway through a Battle Fury, it's kind of rough. And you don't really have mobile supports.
Has stopped going for the Battle Fury to start on a Wraith Band.
I'm not really sure what this.
I don't think he's actually doing that.
Yeah. Also, the Primal Beast is pretty good. Jackie's playing it pretty well too. Like he's top 3 net worth in this game, even with like an 8k deficit. Jackie's really doing good. The problem is like 2 of his supports. The 2 of his supports that he has are pretty immobile. They move around the map very slowly and have they lack kind of playmaking abilities. Like the Undying can drop a tombstone, that's about it, and the Ruby can probably lift. So like, how do you fight? You know, what can you do? That's the issue here. And Arcor is just sitting behind T3s. He doesn't have a. I don't think he has a travels yet, right?
Bottom tower
Who doesn't have a
Nope.
travels
He
yet? No,
has,
he's not.
he just finished his Maelstrom.
Yeah, it's gonna take him even more time to farm the travels, and then even more time to start farming his next item. So I'm not really sure. By then, I think like Bean, Matt, everybody have to have their third items. So
Why,
it looks pretty rough.
why isn't this outpost captured, guys? Come on.
I think you take a T2.
Oh, they haven't actually taken the T2 mid yet. Oh my god, this is so sad. You're just sitting there
They do-
diving T3s so much.
They love power
I'm
damage.
I'm so used to the idea of these guys just starting to go uphill to try and kill Arc Warden that I just accepted in my head that this tower is already dead.
Yeah. I think in future, I think Bean should probably be like when the team is owning this much. I think Bean should be playing super close to the team, because then you can just connect with every single fight and kind of give more damage and help secure objectives even faster.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is fallen.
T2's gone. They can probably take outpost now, and probably the next play is to start farming the way top and start taking Roche again.
Is under attack.
They're not taking the outpost. I'm gonna cry, dude. 3-man smoke on the part of Bean 10 here. They're done trying to play Dota for the objectives. They want all random deathmatch now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's a good approach. Playing aggressive. They know their strengths right now, so they're going for it.
Structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Axe tries to go for the double caller, only actually ends up getting Rubik, unfortunately for him. Nope, that's very sad. The good news is, at the very least, the Storm Spirit is going to find the PA, who is going to immediately evaporate. I'm not even 100% sure why PA is here, to be honest. Well, I mean, I know why, because PA is like not a puzzle in this game, basically. It's the bush.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wow, this is a weird little scenario here. Very awkward, but eventually Jackie goes down. Rubik's got that culling blade. Rubik so desperately wants to actually do something with that thing. And he is going to do something with it. Die without using it is what he's going to do with it. Matt is 15-0-4. There are 5 minutes in this game during which godlike Matt did not get a kill. And he has 4 assists, so really there's 1 minute where he wasn't killing somebody in this game.
Yeah, it looks pretty grim for the Radiant right now. Like the blade mill's complete. There's like nearly a BKB complete. And
bring
Bush
in
is using his
somebody
main hero
got that,
in the lane.
Got the travels now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Jackie
In all fairness, if the game goes to like 40-45 minutes, like eventually their heroes will be farmed, so they have that going for them.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Good to hear. Now that they will, I'm glad that there will come a day when PA will one-shot herself off of the axe and Arc Warden will kill himself in the Winter's Curse. F gives his life to get the double here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has
10 to 30 at 21 minutes. 30 kills, 21 minutes.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It's because of this DeviantArt furry OC that's sitting outside of the Thugwood bases. Like, if this wasn't here, they'd be stomping right now. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
I mean, if this wasn't here, and I didn't give these guys the skinny on how you beat the Thugwood team in the universe where they don't have a dog DeviantArt OC, then they would stomp this out. I really thought that was Primal Beast just walking up to these guys for a second. Meph tries to beat Thugwood in a not Thugwood, tries to beat the Bush in a 1v1. Gets him down to 200 health, which is probably not great considering Meph is a pause 4 and it's 22 minutes. We're actually gonna start throwing out buys here to try and save this. Axis finishes BKB. Storm Spirit just finished his BKB.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's double
that-
BKBs, 9-second BKBs coming out. This is like a huge timing for them. They can probably just take Roche and just go end.
More than likely, yeah. In particular, there goes any ability for Arc Warden to really have any impact on any, on like any upcoming fights. There goes any ability for Rubik to really do too much. Takes off a lot of the primal beast damage.
Yep.
Good one to fight Marcy or the Arc Warden clone.
Oh my god.
Spoilers, it's Marcy. And even with the Midas and 2 heroes, Arc Warden is having a really hard time staying even above Jug. Who, you know, things did not go well early game for this Juggernaut, and Jug has been fighting a lot more than farming. And yeah, Jug is still on top of Arc Warden here.
Stupendous.
Matt has been battle hungered. Matt is walking into the real Arc Warden. Arc is dead. Goodbye, Arc Warden. Just got shot in the nap. Next BKB is there. That's his 9-second BKB, and at the end of it, he's got 3 kills and has lived. That's actually both of the 9-second BKBs, both Storm and
Radiant's
Axe.
middle tower is under attack.
Gave their BKBs to do that.
Yeah, that's a 9-second BKB. It's very powerful. That's also a dieback from the Rubik.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Just gonna walk up to T3 now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's
I
middle
think you were
tower
wrong
is
about
under
one thing,
attack.
Iceman. I don't think they're gonna go Roshan end. I think they're just going to end, period.
Radiant's
No
structures
Rosh
are
necessary.
fortified.
Oh, never mind.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Matt
attack.
is not done yet.
Haste.
There's no reason to... Okay, that was a good TP. There is no reason to do this. Like, not even a little bit of a reason to do this. Matt's just like, I want some more kills. I want to make my stack number really big. That's the only reason he would do that.
So they
Mar-
didn't
Marcy-
take the mid racks. Not really sure why they're not going for Roche yet. It's been 25 minutes and they have like a huge lead, and they have like no abilities to kind of even fight them.
Well, I mean, it goes like this, right? You know, you get Roche, you take the Aegis of the Immortal, right? That's great. Remind me, when's the last time one of the guys on this team died?
Yeah, it's. I think yeah, Meph died.
All right, so we're gonna do Roche. We're gonna give the Aegis to Meph. There we go, boys. No, they don't need
That
it.
should be the play.
None of the. Oh, I guess even though they don't really need it, they're gonna take it anyway. So it's a luxury Roche. Unfortunately, that means they're going to have to pay the luxury tax, which any Monopoly player can tell you that's a lot of money. You big on Monopoly, Iceman?
I played it in my childhood. I played it. Oh, are you talking about like Monopoly as in an economical
yeah,
system?
the concept.
Is that what
no.
you're talking about?
Yeah, I made the board game. Yeah.
The board game, yes, I have.
Yeah, if
like
you want
it.
to talk about Monopoly, the economic system, here's a great example of it in action here. Bean 10 has a total monopoly on this game.
I agree.
Axe just doing this just to show to Bush he can.
Dire's bottom
That counts? That's great. I mean, he didn't get a stack, but it instantly refreshed the ult, so that's kind of funny. And here's the real DeBush getting bullied by US Danny on the other side of the map.
Over here now.
Do you
Did
recall?
the P not go for a BKB? Did the
B
P
not
go
go
for
for
a
a
battlefield
BKB?
Deso this game?
Or you
No, not the P.
PA?
I mean,
Yeah, PA has no
PA.
BKB. PA
Oh,
going
okay,
BKB
that's
now?
not good.
I mean, in fairness, if PA does go BKB this game, I don't think it really goes any better.
I
think
don't
it's
think it
something
matters.
like the
I think
atomization?
just. Yeah, I agree. I think it just helps you slightly than the Deso. I guess the desert can help you burst somebody maybe. But they're too far, they're too strong for you to like burst anybody at this moment. Pretty sure not even the Wyvern dies now.
Wyvern too strong. Cryptic still
Yeah,
working out. Eating his veggies. Rubik actually got the Wyvern split shot here. Never mind. Rubik doesn't have anything. Rubik has 28 seconds to wait till he comes up. It's a real good sign of how well this game is going. It's 27 minutes. Rubik's respawn time is about 30 seconds. Very much being dedicated here to try and push this back. You're gonna ignore the primal beast, just let him go home. And Cryptic actually did get burst down, contrary to your prediction. Can't believe this. This is proof of Iceman Wash did miss. Okay, just going down there for the Storm Spirit. Max actually is gonna go down here.
He just fed 1700 gold to Hollywood.
Now Rubik's gonna buy a house or something. What do you think Rubik's gonna do with all that money?
I don't know. Probably should buy Matt.
There you go. That's the way you. Well, and yeah, Matt's not even American, so he doesn't have the 13th Amendment to protect him here. So he's a-okay.
Straight up just buy him. Yeah. Roxy.
It was a good Rax defense. I'm not really sure why they thought they could come out from Rax though. I know you might be able to fool yourself into thinking if you try to convince yourself hard enough that this is just axe walking all over this game, but no, it's not. Storm Spirit and Juggernaut are also very, very, very dangerous. Mac cut Rubik a check. He also doesn't know how to spell Rubik.
What's the KDA looking at like from the dire side? I just want to see.
What's what now?
What's the KDA? Let's see this fight first. Alright, they burst the Marcy.
That's good. That's a start.
Yeah, I think yeah, at 20 kills, 12 assists from Axe. Similar KDA from the Storm as well.
No. Cryptic did nothing to deserve that. And now his penance PA will just completely die. Actually, all these guys just died now. Again, it's like I said, you know, I could understand why you might be able to, like, get yourself to think that this is just an Axe problem, but this is really just this whole team is the problem now.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
I think just a very weak drafting coming out from the Radiant as well, and then Dire really capitalized well on it. They knew how to play the lanes well, much better than the Radiant.
I mean, it comes down to this. Like I said, I see what Hollywood's doing. Like, he's just trying to abandon ship on the PA. He's just trying to make the bushes real +1. Just making the whole game about it. He did not want to fall for the sunken cost fallacy, which is something that I think, you know, Bean 10's lost 2 games this season. One of them was basically directly to the sunken cost fallacy. So I understand why Hollywood is trying so hard to avert that. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, it's just like, oh my god, you sacrificed your whole +1 for the game? That is a lot to get rid of, you know? It's very hard to stomach. Very interesting decision here on Jackie's part to try and fight this one out. Doesn't work. Actually buys back. I like him beating up the Winnow Bird of the Popsicle there. Crimson Guard. That's Axe Crimson Guard. Wow, is that the
I'm not
clone
sure
doing
why they
less damage?
bought. I'm not really sure why they bought it.
The answer is because Arc Warden does so little damage that the active pretty much means that the real guy is going to do almost nothing, and the clone's going to do even less than that. Arca also made the mistake here of walking 6 inches out of spawn for his punishment, death. Why did Fuckwood not GG this?
Yeah, I think the game was over from like minute 20 when they were getting dove under T3s. Nearly under T3s, so
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
just want to drag it out, I guess.
Yeah, another one of these fantastic troll the commentator games. Axe is so looking forward to somebody spawning and walking into him here, but nobody falls for it.
They didn't even call GG from the enemy team. It's very interesting. It's Jackie. Jackie's a professional. He knows.
So, this is a case study in how an unconventional draft can go wrong, I think. This is just everything that could go wrong for Hollywood's team did in this game. I feel like, Hollywood, I don't mean to flame your brother. I can see where the ideas were. I can see what the thought was. I think he kind of came in figuring out at this point he was probably the underdog, right? You know, probably that he was not the odds-on favorite to win this particular matchup. And he was willing to do everything that he could, I think, to try and spin that around, right? He wanted to play these really unconventional games. You know, game 1, Cinderbush to the offlane, try to feed off Bean. That doesn't work. Game 2, Cinderbush back to mid, but try to make it like a 1v2 scenario. You know, Void, he's there, you know, just gets to play a nice little comfort hero. If he does well, great, but nobody's really counting on him to do anything. And by the way, for the record, if you want to do that, PA is not your hero. Absolutely not your hero. Pick a Ricky, pick a Luna. They're not great heroes, don't get me wrong, but, I mean, no worse than PA. Let's be at least fair enough to say that, right? You know, go somewhere like that. PA is like, if you write off PA, if you're just, you know, calling her just or him, I guess in this case, a, you know, flaming asset, if you cannot invest in that, right? If that's where money goes to die, it's just the wrong hero. I think maybe... I don't know. I feel like, because the problem is, even if they're going for Jackie 1, that's going to be obviously forecasted, and, you know, we had a plan for that. We as in being 10 there. I don't know. I think this is a hard game for Thugwood. He tried some experimental stuff. It really did not pan out. I don't know how much better it would have panned out for him if he just went the normal way. I feel like, I don't know, this Void is a very... Unfortunately, I hate to flame the guy. Void is going to be very hard for them to draft around. You remember Pebcac from Season 12?
I do, yes.
I'm just going to say it. I think Pebcac comes in above Void. Just honest to God, I really think Pebcac does. Like, he's just...
I don't want to rank them, but yeah. They're like newer, inexperienced players, so... Giving them a carry role would be slightly tougher.
It's like the thing is, it's like you do have the downside of Void being it's like and he's only really like a 1 player. It's like you can't really comfortably put him on like a pause 3 or something. He has virtually never played pause 3 in his life. So to that end, you know, Void is kind of typecast. It's just kind of like he is going to be the low MMR pause 1. I think he can, like, and he's in the right place. I just want to say, full stop. It sounds like what I'm saying is Void shouldn't be here. No. I think there absolutely is a place for, like, you know, this is the Learn Dota 2 League. You know, you're not born with pause 1 skill sets. If you want to learn pause 1, that's great. This is a place to do it, or at least it should be. I think the big issue is that Void is not the only person who's learning on this team. Jackie Chen is not a 3-player. And Thugwood, it's like, it's an unfortunate casting of himself. I almost feel like, even though it's taking out a lot of the MMR from the safe lane, I almost feel like this almost works better the other way around, because it's like, Jackie needs someone there to help him as well, and it feels like when Hollywood just kind of has, let's just say, the pool, right? That very sort of defined pool, and when he's off it doesn't go well. I mean, 217 in this game, right? When Hollywood has that very defined pool, it feels like it's just very hard for him to like be a great help to this offlane. It feels like if you write him off, the offlane falls apart. If the offlane falls apart, there's no way for Void to like have a game. I don't know. It feels very rough. It feels very, very, very rough. And worse than that, it's starting to have this really crippling feeling of solved. I feel like people are really starting to figure this team out and how to deal with them. That's not great. I think that's actually kind of a common syndrome for teams this season. I feel like there's an uncomfortable amount of teams that are just getting solved, if that makes sense. I feel like this might be a good sign for Hollywood that this is one of them. What do you do at this point? This is the hand you're given. I think you switch. You know, we want to have Void as pause one. He is like, let's just call a spade a spade. He has never played any other role. It's too late to start now. It's week 6, right? Week 6 coming up. 2 weeks left. I think maybe switch Hollywood and Roxy Row. You know, and just hope to Jesus that one of the Hollywood heroes makes it through games. I think that's really like the best shot. If they want to keep this comp, I think that's really it. And find Void some heroes that he can do well on, but doesn't need to be like the centerpiece of the game. I think that's the long and short of it. So, to that end, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's really, at the end of the day, I think, for the most part, all you can say about this series, I think Bean 10 solved Thugwood. I think they just figured out the exact strategy that they would need to just write off this team, and then they executed it, and then they did. The team was just written off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any commentary on that?
I mean, I still have the same opinion. I think if you wanted to run Void as like position 1, you might have to like pick him not these kind of heroes, but like you said, something that is not really a carry hero, just to wins lane, something like a bristleback or something. Just go press QW. Something very simple to do, and then you kind of play around your mid and your offlane. That's what you should do. Maybe pick like a more greedy mid and like a slightly more greedy offlane. Kind of play around that. If you put your win condition on your pause 1, at least in this team, it's gonna be very tough to play around. That's all I have to say.
Anything to say about Bean 10?
I think most of these games. Again, I'm not trying to flame anybody. Just I don't want to get into that. But I feel that sometimes these games are like 90% carried by the mid and the offlane because how good they are at their game, and it's very, very. How do you say this? It's like very minimal effort required from the safe lane to actually win games. So if any team wants to kind of like beat Bean 10, they have like absolutely dumpster Matt and dumpster US Danny. Then then we'll actually see how strong Bean is right now and how much of a carrying capability can be from her side as well. Because most of these games when they're like stomping from like Matt and like from the side of US Danny, Bean's never really got to shine. That's what I would say.
Yeah, it feels very. Funnily enough, it feels very much like one of your friends, Chris, was in this exact situation. I feel like in season 12 with the Backdoor Boys, and they did win, but it did just kind of feel like every game for the Backdoor Boys, it's like Manoy goes out, has the game of the year. Chris is also there. Chris came out in big fashion at the very end of the season with a very big performance in one of the final games. He's also 2,000 MMR higher than poor CombinationBean, who was also on that team, funnily enough. So she has experience in that sort of setup. But I do think one very important thing that might not be in the consideration here is you've got two very interesting supports. Meph, well, let's just call a spade a spade. Meph likes to die a lot. But Meph has a very large bag of tricks, and he's very willing to try more unorthodox strategies, more unorthodox heroes. You know, you've seen some good performances on him this season on heroes like the Doom, for example, and you've seen him try to run heroes like the Tusk, for example, right? He's got a very large bag of tricks that he pulls a lot of things out of, and of course, Cryptic. I think maybe the silent hero of this team. I think if there is one thing that I think is just continuously sort of undercut, perhaps, as a reason for B10's success, Matt and Danny are great. Make no mistake, Cryptic is also great. Until Copless moved to Pause 5, which hasn't even happened yet, that's a Week 6 thing, Cryptic is the top MMR Pause 5 in the league. I think even if Wizard was Pause 5, he would actually be higher MMR than Wizard right now. I think Cryptic really just is as big of a piece of this puzzle as Matt and Danny is. I don't know if people give him enough credit, and I do think in this situation where Bean, it does kind of fall down to Bean, I do think those two are a good pair of supports to have to try and get that Bean to where she needs to be. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I agree. I think Cryptic has been absolutely owning on his Oracle. Did really well. Even in our series, I think he was absolutely crushing it. Even in this series too. If he gets his heroes, he does his part really well. Meph mostly is like a carry player, so he does like playing support as well. So he's managing his side as well. Haven't really seen one of these game breaking plays from him yet, but you don't really need that all the time, right? You have Matt and Danny doing everything. You just need to support them and enable them.
Yeah, Matt can be. I mean, if you want the real background on Meph, the role that Meph gets every week is we need this, you do this. If we need to get rid of one guy on the team, you're playing Doom, you're playing Bane, etc., etc. That sort of thing. If we need somebody to just, if we need some stuns for disengages, you get to be Lion today, you get to be Wyvern, that sort of thing.
Right, yeah.
So that's basically his role on this team. So either way, that was a very that post game was almost as long as this game was competitive. So, shout outs to Iceman. Thanks for having. Well, not thanks for having me here. You're the one who's being had here. This isn't your show, is it?
It could be. Who knows?
Oh, God damn it, I need to talk to my lawyer. If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level and get flamed to hell like Void did this game. No, you know what, actually, before we start this, let me talk about Void just a little bit more. In my opinion, Void is probably the weakest safe laner of this season. I think he is the weakest Pause 1 I've probably seen in my time doing this. I do think, though, that I do definitely see interesting improvements with him game over game. What he's doing with his time, I think you definitely see some more interesting things going on there. He has stuff to learn, like his builds. He's still using that Tortellini. We don't like that Tortellini on this show. No. Just ask Mikkel about that, right? But I do think he is improving. I do think his stint in the Learn Dota 2 League is getting him better. And while he's not there yet, I definitely do think that, you can't just say, Void sucks, no hope, whatever. Because I do think he is genuinely, this PA performance, this is a bad PA game. I mean, this is an impossibly bad PA game. It's a horrible team to be PA against. You have the Arc Warden on this game. All things considered, 3-8-4, and he was still at least modestly keeping pace with the farm most of the game. That's not bad. I thought a lot of his positioning in fights, a lot of the places he was just trying to go and farm were pretty good. There's a couple of times where he comes out too soon to try and get something done in a fight. Like there was a fight at top where he gets chopped in half by Matt at 10-15 minutes he probably shouldn't have been at, but those occasions, they get slimmer and slimmer every week, so there is definitely notable improvement there. So I don't want to just drop an anvil on Void. I just want to make that clear. Anyway, if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg now to sign up today. You can be You know, it's too late to get into this season. We're over halfway down with it now, but we're looking for stand-ins all the goddamn time. I mean, Iceman, you've had a stand-in seriously. Like, somebody has been stood in for on your team, like, almost every goddamn game. I think
Yeah.
literally this week was the first time you actually had the full squad here.
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, stand-ins always needed. And yeah, that's it for today. So, we'll see you next time.